Welcome home.
Thank you. It is good to be here. Tell me your name.
My name is Mary Helen Deere.
Hi, Mary Helen.
I'm a member of the Kiowa tribe.
It's good to see you.
I also have Creek, Muskogee Creek. And I agree with everything that you say.
Good. Let's stop there. Thank you, Mary Helen.
But I would like to hear if you have any specific things when you are president to support the Native issues that we have.
You bet. So the answer is yes, I got a plan for that. And it starts here. The United States has failed to meet its trust and treaty obligations generation after generation. That stops in the Warren administration. Now, we're here on just about the 1-year anniversary of a report that came out from Civil Rights Commission. The title of it is Broken Promises. And that's what it's about. It's about how the United States made promise after promise after promise that it has failed to keep. So we can read a report like that and then say, gee, that's too bad. Or we can read a report like that and say, let's build a plan and make change. And that's what I want to do. So Congresswoman Deb Haaland and I, who's fabulous, who's also co-chair of my campaign, Deb and I, after this report came out, said it's time to make change. So we've gone through this report, promise after promise, and said, what do we have to do here? What do we have to do here? What do we have to do here to make this better, to make right on our promises? So this is what we're working on through Congress. Let me tell you something, though, else that I want to do. And I love saying this, because I want to do what a president can do all by herself. I'm going to create a cabinet-level post for the Native tribes, the tribal nations, to be a part of what we do from the beginning. Government has a nation-to-nation relationship with our tribal nations. We need to acknowledge that, and we need representatives of the tribal nations, not only in the White House, in cabinet meetings, we need them in every single agency throughout this country. And then part 3 is just to say, let's be respectful. We have failed so many times to show respect. And this is an opportunity for us as a country to reset our relationship with the tribal nations and to be the kind of America going forward that we want to be. Would you stand up, please? This is Frank Lemire's daughter. Frank was a tribal leader and an influence on my life. And he passed away, it's been Father's Day. That's right, he passed away Father's Day. And I just want all of us to honor our tribal leaders who are gone. Thank you.
Senator Warren, my name's Steve Jarman.
Hi, Steve.
In 2015, down in Pauls Valley, south of town, we had what was called the Southern Oklahoma Resource Center. Those of us who are familiar with that? Okay, it was for multi-handicapped folks. Okay, In 2015, the decision was made at the state capitol to close it. Now, I'm going somewhere. Please bear with me.
No.
All right.
I'm still here.
The decision was made to close that facility. Between the time the decision was made until the middle of July that same year, 20 innocent, helpless people lost their lives.
Oh, no.
They had to wear adult diapers. They couldn't tell you what they needed, much less what they wanted. Some of them were bedfast. They were trying to move them into group homes, and they couldn't live in group homes. You know what I'm talking about, you're a special ed teacher.
Yeah.
Okay? Last year there in Pauls Valley, we were one of 3 communities in this state that lost its hospital. We did everything we possibly could to try to keep it open. There's a story that goes along with this. A lady named Margie Chisholm lived there all of her life. She was 94. Called her daughter, I'm having chest pains, take me to the hospital. She took her to the emergency room. They just turned the lights out and closed the doors. So she raced her daughter raced her up to Purcell, which had been the nearest hospital, probably 23, 25 miles from there. She made it to Purcell, but she never made it inside. She died in the parking lot. These closings were decisions that were made at the state level. I know you're running for a federal office, but they were made at the state level. And it was a failed decision, failed policy, and we see it not only at the state level, but at the federal level as well. I have 2 questions. The first one's, what are we going to have to do to end these failed policies? Because it's a matter of life and death, and down there we've been seeing more death than we've been seeing life. The second question, what's your feelings on school vouchers?
School vouchers is easy for me. Public dollars should stay in public schools. Take that first part of that question and talk just a little bit about, I put together a plan that's called a rural America plan for smaller towns all around America, throughout the Midwest, but everywhere. You know what it starts with? Number 1 part of this for me is keep our community hospitals open. We got to do this. Oklahoma City or close around, you may not be quite as tapped into this, but a hospital closes in a small town or in a more sparsely populated area, young families can't move there. You can't be where it's an hour's drive to be able to deliver a baby. You can't be where it's an hour's drive to get a kid's head stitched up after he's fallen on the playground. You can't be an hour's drive when you get to be a senior and you're worried about chest pains. People die if you can't get access. So a key part for me is to make sure that we do enough funding that rural hospitals and smaller community hospitals don't have any uncovered care. That means when folks walk in that the hospital knows they're going to get fully compensated, and that we use high enough Medicare reimbursement rates that those hospitals stay financially viable. Thank you.
Hello.
Hello.
My name is Anthony.
Hi, Anthony.
I am new to Oklahoma.
Yes.
I love it so far.
Yeah, all right.
And I have
So where'd you come here from, Anthony?
Montana.
Montana. Okay. Well, I'm glad you're here in Oklahoma. You're having fun.
Me too.
Okay.
2 really quick questions.
Sure.
First question.
Boy, you guys get in 2 for the price of 1. Uh-huh.
They're really quick. So.
That's okay. That's okay.
Number 1, if Democrats do not win back both the House and the Senate.
Bite your tongue, Anthony.
I said that. I know it's going to happen, but if it doesn't, how do we get these plans through?
Okay. And did you have part 2?
Part 2, well, second question is, can I DJ your rallies?
Okay. So, Anthony asked a good question though, and I think it's a fair question. The question is, what are we going to do? And of course, you all know part one to this, is we're going to fight like crazy, not only to keep the House, but to take back the Senate and get the White House. But part two is what I said earlier. I will do everything a president can do all by herself. And that's a lot. Let me just give you a couple of examples. Department of Education. We're going to have somebody who actually believes in public education. In fact, my Secretary of Education will be a public school teacher. Because the Secretary of Education is the one out there on the front lines, the one who can help us, could help us, get rid of high-stakes testing. Could enforce our civil rights laws. And could, instead of trying to drain money out into for-profit charters, could put that money into our public schools. And I can just multiply that through one part of the government after another. Just a little hint, I don't think we ought to have a coal lobbyist as the head of the Environmental Protection Agency. Much opposed to having a defense industry lobbyist as the Secretary of Defense. So there's a lot of change, and I'll make that change. But part three, understand this, no matter what, however the Congress is composed, I guarantee you this, I will be in this fight. I will fight for your family as hard as I fight for my family. So this has been so much fun, great questions. Before I let you go and we start doing selfies, I want to tell you a story. It's a story about a toaster. You didn't see that coming. Story about a toaster. When I was a young mom, toasters could actually burn down houses. Now this is true. You know those little toaster ovens? They didn't have automatic shut-off switches. So you could put 4 slices of bread on the tray, slide it in, flick the toaster oven on, hear the baby cry, run down to the other end of the house, be gone a little longer than you thought, and when you came back, the flames would be leaping off the toast 6 to 8 inches. They could catch the curtains on fire and maybe the kitchen cabinets. Ask me how I know. The only part I will confess to is that one year my daddy bought me for Christmas a fire extinguisher. But along came the federal government and said, enough, we're done. You can't sell toasters in America that basically have a 1 in 5 chance of burning down your house. And that was it. They put a safety switch on them so they automatically shut off. No more toaster fires, okay? By the early 2000s, mortgages in America had gotten so complex and so dangerous, they had a 1 in 5 chance of costing a family their home. Not from fire, but from foreclosure. And here's the thing, the federal government wasn't on the side of families. The federal government was in the pocket of the banks. So deep in the pocket, they told them to just keep selling those mortgages until they crashed the entire economy in 2008. So I had an idea for an agency, like the toaster agency, only this one would be, you don't get to boost your profits by cheating people on financial products, like mortgages, credit cards, payday loans. office. So I basically just went to Washington, D.C. and knocked on doors. I talked to Democrats, I talked to Republicans, anybody who would see me, and pitched the idea for this new agency. And remember, this is the aftermath of the crash in 2008. So basically, pretty much everybody I talked to had the same two responses. Part one, whew, that is a great idea. You could make a real difference, structural change. And part two, don't even try. Don't try, because you'll be up against big money, you'll be up against big banks, you'll be up against Wall Street, you'll be up against all of the Republicans, and you'll be up against half the Democrats. You will never get it done. I get it. Big structural change is hard, but it was the right thing to do. So we got in the fight. You bet. We got in the fight. We took on the big banks. We took on Wall Street. And in 2010, President Obama signed that agency into law. Believe that he would ever applaud for a government agency, I will just point out it has forced those banks to return more than $12 billion directly to people they cheated. So what did I learn from that? I learned that even if the big money is against it, even if the big donors are against it, we need big ideas to solve the big problems of our time. We need big ideas to inspire people to get out and vote and bring their friends and family to vote. We need big ideas to tell the whole world who and what Democrats will fight for. And we need big ideas to take back the Senate and put Mitch McConnell out of job. And we need to be willing to fight for them. You know, I understand that it's easy to make yourself sound smart or sophisticated by just backing off the big ideas. But when we give up on big ideas, we give up on the people whose lives would have been touched by those ideas. And those people are already in a fight. People struggling to pay their medical bills are already in a fight. People crushed by student loan debt are already in a fight. People stopped by the police or denied their right to vote because of the color of their skin are already in a fight, and those fights are our fights. This country is in crisis. And media pundits, Washington insiders, even people in our own party don't want to talk about that. They think that running some vague campaign that nibbles around the edges of the big problems in this country is somehow the safe strategy. They are wrong. If the best Democrats can offer is business as usual after Donald Trump, Democrats will lose. Big ideas to solve the big problems in people's lives. Now, I'm not running a campaign that has been shaped by consultants. I am not running a campaign with plans and proposals that have been carefully designed not to offend big donors. I passed that stop sign a long time ago. I'm running a campaign based on a lifetime of fighting for working families. I am running a campaign from the heart because I believe that 2020 is our moment in history. 2020 is our moment to win the fight for a Green New Deal and save our planet. Is our moment to win the fight for Medicare for all and save our people. And 2020 is our moment to win the fight for a 2-cent wealth tax and invest in a whole generation. And if you believe that 2020 is this special moment in history, then I ask you, get in the fight. Go to ElizabethWarren.com, pitch in $5, volunteer an hour, but get in the fight. Because this moment is not coming around again. This one comes to us. 2020, our time to dream big, fight hard, and win.